Sorry, Zach, you're not the only Disney star to play a serial killer. My Friend Dahmer is a 2017 biopic of Jeffrey Dahmer, who's of course a serial killer and sex offender who admitted to killing 17 men from 1978 to 1991. Hey, that's when I was born. With that said, this movie isn't about his murderous times, but before that, is more of a character study of him through the eyes of his classmate, John Durf. I think that's how you say his name. John was the person who wrote the graphic novel, which is titled the same, My Friend Dahmer, which this movie is also based off of. Rosalind, who's a former Disney star, plays Jeffrey Dahmer, and he really nailed the awkward and something's not quite right about you vibe. It definitely gave me the creeps. And I have to say, it's so nice to see actors who are supposed to look and act the character's age. There's nothing worse than an adult trying to act like a high school teenager. Yeah, that wasn't good. Also, fun fact, the house that they filmed in was Jeffrey Dahmer's actual childhood house. One thing I really enjoyed was the use of actual location in Ohio, and also the costumes and also the vehicles that were used. It really brought about the sense that you were actually immersed in the 1970s. The film also seemed to have a warmer orange hue to it, which gave off a sense of innocence I felt, which is ironic because the movie subject is about the serial killer. One of the main things that I got watching this movie, which is kudos to Ross Lynch's excellent performance, was how insignificant, small, and invisible that Jeffrey Dahmer came across as. From his dysfunctional family to classmates who only viewed him as a sideshow attraction, no one really took the time to connect with Jeffrey, and this really showed throughout the movie as the scenes progressed. The movie did a very great job in portraying how Jeffrey must have felt alone and abandoned with no one to turn to because he was going through so many things, but he wasn't able to find a support system to talk to about his urges. And by the end of the movie, it really made me wonder, what if there were people around him that was more supportive and were there to listen to him? But with that said, maybe it was just something that was inevitable. I mean, a lot of people go through what Jeffrey Dahmer goes through, but they don't turn out to be serial killers. But the movie in general really left you to think about the possibilities and of the age-old question of nature and nurture and how situations might affect people differently. And because of the subject matter and it being a biopic dealing with one of the worst serial killer, every scene that comes up, there's always an air of suspense because you never know how Jeffrey is going to take it. He doesn't react like a typical character, and because of this unpredictability, each scene that unfolds really grabs you, and a few scenes really made me hold my breath because I didn't know what was going to happen next. Now the movie is a pretty slow burn, so some people might not appreciate it and also become bored throughout it. But for me, it was very engaging, and each scene built up upon the next, which helped me understand Jeffrey Dahmer as a character and also the situation around his eventual actions. I was thoroughly engaged throughout the movie, and when the credit did end up rolling, it left me with a lot of things to think about, which all good movies I believe should. Overall, I really did enjoy My Friend Dahmer. It is a fantastic dive into the psyche of a tortured person who didn't have anywhere to turn to, which eventually became the Milwaukee Cannibal. Alright guys, that's my ramble for today. Thank you for listening. As always, get out of here.